Hey everyone, Jumpy on back again here with another video. I'm sorry we haven't uploaded in a while. We've just been really busy here at 2 Studios. We've had to balance some other stuff as well as making videos on our YouTube channel. But today I'm starting a new series. It's called Blender Basics. It's just going to be helping people get their feet in the water about learning Blender and 3D modeling. And today our first episode is going to be on the object mode of the Blender interface. And I will be going over the left hand side of the hierarchy. So it should be a pretty fun episode, and please, if you have any questions, please just respond and please just send a comment below in the description below. Cheers. So the first thing, before we even start with the left hand side, because that's what we're going to be working on today, the left hand buttons, which is what you mostly spend your time with on Blender. We first have to familiarize ourselves with the axes. Now if we have a look here, you can see in the right hand side there's a little axis guide. So if you have a look, the red line is the x-axis, the y line, the green line is the y-axis, and the z-axis is the blue line, which isn't really evident, but you'll see it once we get into the scaling, the transform, and the rotation. So it will be very, very useful. So just have a little play around with that, have a look. There's a little cube here. I know it's a bit boring, but just familiarize yourself with moving the camera around. So you can just see here in the right hand corner, just like move around. So now if we actually get started on the buttons itself, there are some very simple buttons here. So also you can zoom in and out when you scroll the mouse wheel up or your trackpad, depending on which one you want to use. Now, let's get started. So the first one here is a select box. Very, very simple. You just can select your item that you want to edit, and you can right click and you can make it smooth. You can convert it to meshes, curves, make it all that kind of thing, set origins as well. You can also, please know, you can also set the transform, as you can see here, the rotation and the scale as well of the object that you want. So just make sure you're selecting the right object before you actually start making any of those changes. Otherwise you can make some very, very bad changes if you make it, like if you select the wrong item. Now the next button, very self-explanatory, is the cursor. Woohoo. So this is just made to have a lot more precise connections or locations with like what you want to tap. So if we have a look here, if I change the object mode, let's go into edit mode. So you can see here you have all these vertices and these edges, and what the cursor does, it just helps you get a much more precise cursor location. Very, very simple stuff. So, but if we go back to object mode, we're mostly just going to be focusing on object mode today. You've got the very simple, sorry, my one's upside down. Doesn't really matter anyway. But you've got the very simple transform, move, transform, same sort of thing. But you can also see you can change it here in the hierarchy here, just down there, engineered values. So like I said, you can move it on the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. Very, very simple. Very, very simple stuff. Just rotate. Just get used to the camera movement as well, because it may be a bit weird for you guys if you're just getting into this as well. Rotate, very, very simple, same sort of thing, right? You just rotate up, around, rotate on the z-axis, the y-axis, there you go, and the x-axis as well. Very, very simple. Now the scale tool is a bit differently, and as you can see, as I'm actually changing this, you can see the values change on the right hand side in real time, which is a really cool function as well. So if we have a look at scale, so you can scale everything up by using certain arrows. So for example, you can scale for the green thing, you can scale for the green, sorry, not the green thing, the green line, you can scale it up on the y-axis, the z-axis, and the x-axis separately. But what you can also do is you can also do uniform scale as well. Uniform scale is just another way of saying it scales all three axes at the same time. So it basically keeps the same shape of the object, but just makes it a whole lot bigger, and it's just a lot easier as well. See, look, that just really overcomplicated everything. But just see here, then you can edit, all that kind of thing. Very, very simple. Now the transform, rotation, all that kind of thing just helps. It's just all those top functions all in one. So you can just rotate, scale up, scale down, even move the object as well, using the little arrows at the top there. Very useful. Right. And as you can see, you can always change everything there as well. So very simple. And you can see here that you can select whatever object you want to do in the hierarchy. Sorry about that. Another thing you can do is just annotate. Annotate is very important as well, in case you want to draw on anything. So you can just draw on your object whatever you want to do. Very simple. I personally don't like to use annotate. I just feel like it gets in the way. But what you can also do is you can also, it's just more like drawing stuff. But another really, the second last handy one is the measurement. So you can just measure different distances. This also helps you get a feel of scale as well, because if you import something into, say, Unity, for example, and it's really, really big, it can be a monster to try and scale it down. Like, I've imported many guns, like 3D asset guns, and it's been really hard to just scale them down. So just be mindful and use measurement, like when you see just as well. Now my favorite, let's just delete this. Now my favorite is add a cube. So adding a cube is very important, as you can it's just an easy way to add another 3D object. So for example, if I want to make a room real quick, you'll see as you drag your cursor, you'll see the yellow outline, and that's what you want your cube to be. You guys see there, right? But then if you can go up as well. So for example, I just want to make a small plane, and you can see also that my cursor has changed. It's come into like a kind of grid. It's come into more of a grid. And then what you can do from here is I'm just going to make a really simple room just to demonstrate to you guys. Make some walls, connect everything. And as you can see here, there's a hierarchy here too. So it's very simple as well. It's very, very easy to use. It's more like just you want to make sure you get a feel for the software in general. Sorry, that's my computer. I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, I made a little bench. Well, you can call it a bench. You can call it whatever you want. I don't really know what it is, but I just had some little fun as well. So I recommend you just play around with the Blender settings, or the Blender app, or just making stuff with very, very simple stuff with just the cubes and everything. Just have a look, explore around, have some fun, that kind of thing. It's mainly just help get your feet wet in the Blender software itself. So should be really fun for you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. The next video will be another guide, on very simple guide. And here's a quick disclaimer as well. If you have any questions, just comment down below. I'll be answering a lot of the questions as well that you guys have. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers and goodbye.